Hi and welcome to my Random Ruminations, and today is a really special my Random Ruminations. On Friday I was watching Dexterity Bonus with Dodger, and she did the gender tag. The gender tag is a group of 10 questions that you ask yourself and answer on camera, and you share, and through them you share your experience, your unique experience of your own gender with the world. The reason being quite simple: to help other people to understand their gender a little bit better and help them understand other people's gender a little bit better. Right here at the start of the video, I'm going to say that if you have a channel and this interests you, consider yourself tagged. 3 people in particular come to mind. There are 3 people whose content I love, and they're just awesome people, and I would really love to see their take on this. Those 3 people are Rita of Ritzy Ritz, who is a really good YouTuber and a really good Let's Player and a fun vlogger. Steve Shives of 5 Stupid Things About, An Atheist Reads, Wrestling with Wrestling. He's just an awesome dude. He is amazing, someone I'd really love to have a pint with, and I would love to see his take on this. And of course, the Tennessee Gaming. The Tennessee Gaming dude is awesome. First of all, he has one of the best voices I've ever heard. Just like such an awesome voice. He does Minecraft Let's Plays that are really, really good, like really well, really, really fun. And I just think he's a genuinely cool guy. I'd really love to see his take on this. So you can consider yourselves provisionally tagged. If this is something you would like to do or you feel interested in doing, consider yourself tagged. If not, there is no pressure in this whatsoever. Everyone's experience of gender is unique and very personal. I totally understand if you do not want to share that with the world. Anyway, moving on to question number 1, which is, yeah, I actually have notes. There's so much to this, I have notes. Number 1, how do you self-identify your gender, and what does that definition mean to you? When I looked at the list of these questions, that was the one that stumped me for ages, because I don't really think about my gender that much. I'm me. I'm a me. I'm an Amanda. I am this odd, very gendered, non-gendered person. My gender is extremely squishy. I basically fill the hole that's necessary at any given time with whatever gender suits. And anyone who has played against me competitively in like competitive multiplayer knows that I play like a dude. Hardly, sometimes, because I'm really a very aggressive gamer, except when I'm doing puzzle games where I become very conservative. But by and large, I'm a quite aggressive gamer, and that's quite a masculine trait. On the other hand, I get all and squishy and about babies. I love babies. I suppose the best word I can use for my gender is tomboy. A tomboy is someone who has a balanced, interesting, understandable blending of the 2 genders. And actually, there's more than 2 genders, but I suppose you could really say all genders. You're someone pretty much stuck in the middle. You're very feminine and very, I won't say ladylike, because I'm not, but you're very feminine when it's necessary and when it's appropriate and when it interests you. At the same time, you can be quite masculine and boyish, and anyone who's seen my game collection will say, oh my god, you collect games like a boy. I've had people say that to me, and you know what? They're right. I'm not really male or female, though I do express myself more often female than, I can't say male. I'm probably tomboy leaning towards female, really, if that makes any sense. What does it mean to me? It means I survived. I tried to kill myself multiple times because of my gender and how it made me feel. I starved myself so my puberty wouldn't affect my body as much. I self-harmed, as if the other 2 weren't enough. I survived myself. I also survived the early days of transitioning, when I was a target for every psychopath on the street. I survived childhood sexual abuse, which I was almost certainly a target of because of my gender uncertainty and my discomfort in my own world, my own life, my own body. I survived. That's what it means. I survived long enough to identify that I am me, that I am a gender unto myself. Now, I could talk about the fact that I'm actually somewhat intersexed and I have weird aspects to my body, etc., etc., but that's really secondary. I am a tomboy. I am a fairly femmy tomboy, but I am a tomboy. And it means that I survived long enough to figure that out and accept it and be happy with it. Number 2. What pronouns honor you? She, she's, her, they, their, theirs. I think that's right. I'm not showing my writing pedigree right here. Pronouns are something that kind of get me. I don't like male pronouns at all. They actually make me very uncomfortable. I prefer female to pronouns. And it's not because they're female, it's because they feel right. And they sound right. And they make me happy. 3. Describe the style of clothing you most often wear. Casual. Very, very casual. This is a boy t-shirt. This is my favorite t-shirt because it's World of Warcraft. Around the house I wear leggings, I wear pajama bottoms, I wear tracksuit bottoms. I usually wear my Skechers because they're comfortable and my feet hurt a lot, so it's good to be comfortable. If I'm going out, I will usually wear a nice top, maybe a jacket over it or a blouse. Or I love cardigans. I really love cardigans, and I'll usually wear either a pair of jeans or leggings with a skirt over it. The skirt is there to hide a myriad of physical issues, most notably my oversized non-vagina adjacent clit, which can kind of be obvious sometimes. So I tend to wear an overskirt. It smooths things over a little bit. Occasionally I'll wear a long skirt. It really depends on how physically sore I am on a given day. The more pain I'm in, the less I wear. And that's because my clothes physically hurt me. Oh, buses. If I'm going out, I'm usually very femmy. I'll usually wear a really nice skirt, a really nice top. Not really much of the way of makeup. Well, we'll get to that later. Nice shoes. I usually wear my goth boots. I have a really nice pair of Demonia Rangers, which are just delicious and comfortable and huge and make me over 6 foot tall, which is awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much my style of clothing. Is generally casual. I am getting more and more interested in kind of like, I suppose you call it day-to-day cosplay, if you get what I mean. Like, it's not really cosplay, but it's kind of like, it's a little bit themed. I've got the real fascination with Harley Quinn. Yeah. Anyway, move onward. 4. Talk about your choices with body hair. How do you style your hair? Do you have facial hair? What do you choose to shave or not to choose not to shave? Okay, that's really 3 different questions. Well, actually, technically it's 2. Okay, so body hair. When I transitioned first, I took great pains to remove all of my body hair. And it was great, because it made me feel really comfortable. Except that it was terrible because I got lots of lesions. I got sores, weeping sores, and bloody sores, and lesions, and infections, and I have scars all over my body from it. And when I say scars, it's usually like the skin looks a little bit hollow, or the skin is shinier, or paler in a place where I had an open sore. It's probably related to my generalized ill health, that it's something that it's part of my skin. Well, your skin is your biggest organ. These days, well, my arm hair is untouched. My leg hair, I'll very carefully deal with it if I'm going out or if I'm wearing shorts or what have you, but otherwise my partner isn't bothered by it, so why would I be? As for hair in other places, I really don't give a crap about it. I'll trim it up neat if I'm dating someone, or if I'm looking to treat someone really special. But shave it off, not really. It's itchy and it gets infected. You get ingrown hairs, and ingrown hairs down there do not bear thinking about. Yeah. Facial hair. I have a video on my channel about how laser hair removal is not permanent, because it's not. It will give you huge reduction and then it will gradually come back over time. And I'm currently in a phase where it's coming back in a really big way. I have like a breakout down here because yesterday was the first birthday party of my little wingman Alfie, and I wanted to look good for it. So that was physically very painful because I had to let my hair grow out a little bit, which was not pleasant to say the least, and then I epilated it. And if you know what an epilator is, you know it's an instrument of torture anywhere, but it's horrific on your face, but it was kind of worth it. I'm currently kind of looking for a laser hair removal technician in my area who's affordable, and I hate having facial hair. I hate it. It's absolutely repulsive to me, and it makes me feel really sick to touch it. It can give me, actually gives me nightmares, because if I brush, my hand could brush against it in my sleep and it will trigger a nightmare. So yeah, facial hair is not fun. 5, talk about cosmetics. Oh, hang on, I missed one. How do you style your hair? Ah, yes. Pink, except when it's blue, except when it's purple, except when it's black and red. Yeah, my hair goes through a lot of different colours, but it's typically this kind of style now. And how do I style it? I use a comb to brush it out, and I use this to straighten it. This is great, and it's dying, and I'm going to have to replace it soon. Yes, talk about cosmetics. 5, talk about cosmetics. Do you choose to wear makeup? Do you paint your fingernails? What types of soaps and perfumes do you use, if any? Do I choose to wear makeup? This is all the makeup I own. This is a little Emily Strange set, which is barely used, which will tell you how often I use makeup. And this is just kind of like an Urban Decay basic set and a few applicators, and that's about it. I also somewhere have a Urban Decay eyeliner, but I can't find it lately. I don't know why, it's kind of vanished. I don't wear makeup very often, and when I do, it's usually just eye makeup. That again comes down to the fact that my skin is really, really sensitive, and I end up with sores and I end up with lesions. And almost every, actually pretty much every foundation I've ever used causes my skin to get really painful. So I just don't use foundation. And eyeshadows and eyeliners, what have you, I do those because I've got good eyes and I like to make the most of them. I'm going to have to start wearing makeup on camera for my channel because I've been really lax with that, and it's a little upsetting, I'm not going to lie. But yeah. Soaps, I use a really nice Aussie tea tree shower gel. It's really, it makes my skin feel really good, which is a rare occurrence, and it's very good at cleansing. Hair, I use whatever's to hand. I shampoo twice and I condition once. And is that everything for that one? Perfumes, I don't wear perfume. I hate perfume. It makes me feel sick. And as for my nails, I chew my nails. So no, I don't wear paint. I only have those too long because I play stringed instruments. That's the only reason. 6, have you experienced being misgendered? If so, how often? The first year I transitioned, I got misgendered constantly. Actually, the first 2 years, really. I mean, it was constant. I still get misgendered on the phone. That's kind of understandable. My vocal cords are slightly damaged, so I can't do anything with my voice. It is what it is. On the street, not so much anymore. Once in a blue moon, like maybe once every 2 years, I'll get misgendered by someone because of my voice. But again, it's a very rare thing to happen. Let's see. 7, do you experience dysphoria? How does it affect you? Yes, I do. There are aspects of my physical nature that do trigger me in a big way. At the moment I have, well, people who have stomach problems call it Crohn's gut. Basically my stomach, I'm not actually overweight, I'm not actually fat. I kind of prefer if I was, to be quite honest. What I have is really huge swelling in my bowel and bloating in my bowel. That's distended my stomach, which makes me look overweight. That causes me some serious body image issues. I do get dysphoric effects because of facial hair. That really triggers it very badly because it feels utterly unnatural to me. And that's pretty much it. Occasionally my shoulders, but generally speaking I like the width of my shoulders. Other than that, I don't really feel dysphoric about very much. It doesn't affect me to the degree it used to. Before I transitioned, it made me suicidal. Now it just makes me feel duh for a couple of hours and then I get over it. Dysphoria isn't a huge issue for me anymore. I mean, if I catch my stomach in a mirror sideways, I would prefer to be overweight, because at least I would be in some kind of proportion then. Whereas right now, there's no weight on my arms, no weight on my shoulders, my bum is small, my legs are slim, my upper torso is slim apart from, well, yeah. But I just have this distended stomach. And it, as I said, I would rather be overweight and in proportion to what I am now, and it's that lack of proportion that trips me, and it trips me every time I see it. It just affects me by making me feel a bit bad about myself. That's really about it. Number 8. Oh no, that's bad. Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Would you want to carry a child if that option were for you? Do you want to be the primary caretaker to any children you may have? I was interested in having children until I was about 32, 33. Now I honestly say blessed sterility, because it is blessed. I like my life. I enjoy not having kids. I enjoy being able to go to bed whenever I need to. I enjoy being able to work when I want to work. I enjoy not having to worry about, are they okay, or, you know, what do I need to get done for tomorrow so they can go to school. I am because there are young children in my life, I'm very aware of what goes with having young children in your life. And yeah, there are definitely plus sides, because kids, they're awesome, but at the same time there are serious downsides, and I'm very aware of those downsides, and I'm very at peace with the fact that it's a benefit to me that I don't have children. Now, the thing about it is, would I want to carry if I had an option? Part of the reason I eventually got over wanting to have kids, and I did really badly want to have kids. I cried myself to sleep so much the first few years of my transition, because part of transitioning is you basically chemically sterilize yourself. And one of the things that made me find peace with that is the fact that I cannot carry a child. And I know in my heart and soul that if I was to have a child, I'd want to carry it. I would want to have it be a part of me. And that's not an option. And that's actually in part why I will never have gender reassignment surgery, because it's not going to allow me to have children. It's not going to allow me to bear a child. And with that being the case, for me, it's not an option for me. I would rather that the money that will be used by the state, by the HSE, to provide that surgery to me, be given to someone who will actually get joy and use out of it, whereas I would just feel much the same as I do now, just in the other direction. Do you want to be the primary caretaker of any children you may have? In all honesty, once upon a time, yes. Now, no. Once I accepted that I was not going to have kids, I realized I'm happy with the way I am. I don't want that responsibility in my life because I don't think I'm able for it, and I don't think I would be a good mother. I'm a good auntie, but I would be a terrible mother. Number 9, talk about money. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially if you choose to have one? Is it important that you earn more than any partner you may have? Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Are you uncomfortable when others pay for you or offer to pay for you? Wow. I'm not going to have a family, so the first one doesn't really count to me. I'm not hung up on money. Money is just a way. When you have it is a way of keeping score. When you don't have it, it's a necessity. That's about it. I don't care if I have more money or less than my partner. I literally could not care less. It's money. Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Yeah, I do. But that's less to do with my anything gendered and more to do with the fact that I have very little money. My disposable income is tiny. And I kind of always think that everybody else is on that really, really tiny budget. So I kind of tend to prefer to pay my own way so that I'm not pushing the cost and the pressure of paying for me onto somebody else. Are you uncomfortable when others pay for you or offer to pay for you? Yes. In a word, yes. But again, that comes down to the fact that I am not well off. I do not have much money. I have never had much money, and because of that, I am aware that things cost, and I don't want to be a cost burden to other people. I don't necessarily have a problem borrowing from someone and paying it back, but to actually have them, it's odd. I'm not a good gift receiver. Anyway, and finally, number 10. Anything else you want to share about your experience with gender? I don't really think there is much else to share. I mean, I'm a tomboy. I actually think that is my gender. My gender is tomboy. I am quite comfortable in my body. I have very mild dysphoria at this point because my body is more or less the way I always wanted it to be. I find it interesting that when I read books, I don't identify with characters of either gender. I tend to just identify with a character. But oddly, most of the books I read, the main character is male, and that's not because I seek out masculine literature. I don't. It's just because I tend to prefer male protagonists, which is quite interesting considering I'm actually quite frightened of men and don't really like them all that much. And that's one of the things, and it's probably is an experience. Part of my experience of gender is that I am scared of men. But that again comes down to the child abuse, where I have quite severe. I call them flash burns. I don't really know the term for them, where I have like an emotional scarring over something, and in this case, it's an entire gender. It's not most people's fault in that gender that I'm uncomfortable and scared when I'm around them. It just is. I'm lucky there are a handful of guys that I am very comfortable around and I feel safe around, but they are very, very few and very far between. I'm lucky to have the ones that I do have though. Actually, even my therapist is male, which is quite amusing really, and although I think that's quite cathartic because the damage was done to me by males, and there's now a really special guy trying to help me to fix what they did. I suppose my gender is really just my gender. I've never really met anybody else who has a completely shared or even completely parallel experience in their gender to me. It's possible I have, and I just don't realize they have it. Because the odd thing is, you know, when you transition the first year or two, it's all about gender, because it has to be. You're relearning gender, you're relearning your body, and you're getting a crash course in living as a different gender, because you've been acting as the wrong gender for far too long, and it's ingrained. But these days, I very rarely talk about gender. I don't feel the need to. I am who and what I am. I'm happy with who and what I am, and I'm happy in my life. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. So what I'm going to say is, if you enjoyed this, do it. If it's in the comments, if it's on your Facebook page, if it's on your WordPress blog, if it's on the channel, whatever, just do it. It's actually quite an interesting experience. I have to say I enjoyed it. Yeah, that was different. So as I said at the start, Ritzy Ritz, the Tennessee Gaming, and Steve Shives. Shives or Shivs? I can never figure it out. If you're interested in doing this, please feel free to. Just tag me so that I'll know you're doing it. And have a great day. Think a little bit about your gender. I'll talk to you all again soon.